Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Good morning to one and all. Let's move on to the climax of the same lesson, or synopsis, the Swiss family Robinson. Previously, the ship was sent by Mr. Montrose, which had been anchored far away from the main island. Obviously, they came with small boats to the island, and then they spoke to Mr. Robinson and his eldest son Fritz. They told them the complete story of the previous 10 years and the story of Jenny Montrose, who was stranded for 3 years on the same island, on the other side of the same island. Let's continue with the last 3-4 paragraphs remaining. With a burst of celebration with real happiness, with real entertainment, with real gratefulness, where happiness has no bound at all. The family, passengers and crew of the British vessel means ship, headed towards New Switzerland. Everyone was amazed by the prosperity and good health of the survivors. Amazed means astonished, surprised because of the prosperity. Prosperity means living people of the survivors, because obviously being 10 years on a isolated island, deserted island, stranded island, people were living in that particular place, showing you that life was yet available on this New Switzerland island. In that case, the vessel had come from Britain, that is England itself. It was headed towards it, where the family, Mr. Robinson and his family, the passengers on the ship and the crew on the ship itself were there. And the people on the ship were really amazed, were really happy to see living people on an island for 10 years without any aid, without any help from anybody, anywhere in and around that particular island. As the day ended, the father realized that decision must be made about who wanted to stay on the island or return with the ship. Obviously, when the captain was there, they had to stay with them, with the Robinson family. And in that case, finally the day came to an end. Then they had to decide who would like to stay on the New Switzerland island and who would like to go back with the ship which was headed towards England. Elizabeth and her husband did not wish to live anywhere but on the island. That means the man and wife, the Robinson family, the head of the Robinson family, were not willing to go back to their own main native land, but to stay on this isolated island out there. They had been there for so long and grown used to their life. Obviously 10 long years is not a small passage of time, where you people will obviously stay there and learn a lot, and obviously you won't leave the place again to go back to your own native land. Jenny asked if anyone would support her return to England. Obviously Jenny would go back to her own native place, because of the father had sent the captain in search of Jenny, and now she was on a journey, on a voyage back to England. Before she wanted to leave the Robinson family, she herself requested or asked who would like to support her on return to England. Fritz was the first one to respond. To respond means to react to the question immediately. He would like to go back with Jenny to England. He offered cheer for us who are going to Europe. That means he was the first person to say that he would like to go back to England in that case. Ernest, on the other hand, wanted to stay on the island. The second son, Ernest, would like to stay on the island itself. Jack also decided to stay back. The third one also said that I would like to stay back on the same island and live with his parents in that case. But the youngest one, Frank's, the youngest son, decided to join Fritz in leaving. That means Frank's and Fritz were both ready to go back to England. Fritz was obviously in a different mood, whereas Franz was saying that he would like to complete his academic education. He would like to finish off with his studies. Franz wanted a chance to receive an academic education. Before Fritz left, he told his parents of his love for Jenny and his wish to marry her. That means Fritz and Jenny were in love with each other, and before Fritz left for England, back to England, he told his parents, Mr. and Mrs. Robinson, that Fritz and Jenny love each other, and he would wish to marry Jenny when they reached to the England place. The father had kept a record of all the 10 years, the complete story on a day-to-day board. Many people have a habit of writing daily recordings. So he, Mr. Robinson, was a person who wrote diary entry on a daily basis. Therefore, he had kept all the records in a journal of his own, on paper of its own, of all the adventures they had had on the island itself. That means the previous 10 years record, he had noted it down on paper. And in that case, he handed over the journals to the captain to be published. That means he gave that same paper or the booklet or the journal which he had written for 10 years, all the adventures they had faced for the 10 long years, or one complete decade in that case, and he gave it to the captain so that the captain would publish it in England and distribute it to the people out there. Then the ship departed. Finally, the ship left the new island, Switzerland, and sailed towards England in that way. So here we come to the end of the lesson, and there are lots and lots of things. If you go through your textbook completely, you will find ample amount of questions on the left hand side and right hand side of each page. On page number 6 you have questions out there. Page number 7 has one question out there, and then you have on page number 8 there are another 4 questions, but page number 9 has another 2, and page number 10 has one more of them. Regarding all the question answers, you need not get worried about that. I shall be giving you complete notes on that, where you should be preparing for yourself, as I have given you all the portion for all the 4 tests, 2 tests and 2 examinations. As and when we reopen into school days, we shall be evaluating you on your written based working, and the questions will be prepared by me. I will be giving you all the necessary notes, all the necessary question answers on this particular lesson, and all the grammar will also be taught to you as and when it is being updated by me and my other colleagues in that case. So therefore, we are done off with lesson number 1.1, that is life, and lesson number 1.2, that is a synopsis, the Swiss family Robinson. In that case, if you yet have any doubts, any queries, any problems, you are most welcome to ask me. You can chat with me as and when you have any doubts. Please give me a call, please WhatsApp with me, please subscribe, share and like the channel also, so that Hera School is also well versed with all the people in and around the whole state of Maharashtra. So we are on with our working. In that case, any doubts, any queries, you are most welcome to ask me. Thank you. Jazakallah.